Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another Market Mates episode live with you every single day at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard or 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard. Craig, mate, how are you doing on this fine Tuesday morning?
Yeah, good day, everyone. Good day, Greeny. Hello. Yeah, I'm pretty good, man. Sun shining today, which is nice. It's pumping, actually, so be good for cleaning for my folks arrive, as I said, tomorrow, so I've got a bit of housework to do. But nah, happy days, bro. Market looks all right, hey, except for oil.
Yeah.
See you later, oil. But yeah, nice little pump, especially on hype, man. Everyone must be getting excited about hype. Unfortunately, I'm not in it, which is pretty sucky. But hello, Greeny. How are you today, man? You all right?
Good, mate. Good. Yeah, Hyperliquid is going crazy. We've spoke about that for months now. It's going to be probably one of the best performing assets in the years to come, in my opinion. It's so obvious as it is right now. Yeah, mate, I'm doing all right. Today, we've got our pre-settlement inspection today. We settle tomorrow, so I'll officially be a mortgage owner and a house owner tomorrow by about 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So, yeah, I got a lot of things to do over the coming days. Just sort of restructure your banking, restructure your automations, restructure like an offset account, like all these sort of things that you got to think about now, as well as paying rent. So yeah, the double whammy, Craig, the double whammy of paying rent and a mortgage at the same time. Oh, baby, gotta love some life. Hey, crypto, what are you doing, bro? I need you to pump again, please. But no, hey, it's exciting times. Markets, yeah, really nice rally. But I think, look, I'll give you pre-warning to everyone on the show. I think it's still just gonna be a range, and then we're probably gonna go lower often, and we'll talk about why, and we'll talk about liquidity and how that works. And Craig, actually, I mean, yesterday I predicted this exact move on Bitcoin, even put it publicly out there on Twitter, and it went exactly to those levels. So I can't wait to talk about that later in the show. We've obviously got to talk about oil because that dumped. We've got to talk about Albanese as well. He's in the headlines. Australia's Prime Minister. We've got to look at a few other articles around US, Bitcoin, and crypto in general. Pudgy Penguins at the end of the show too. They've released a new little world that they're talking about. But before we get started, guys, check out BTCC. Link is in the description, but also I'll chuck it in the chat. So they are a non-KYC, non-VPN platform, 10% deposit bonus. We will have a trading competition accessible to people who sign up under our affiliate. So that'll be for cash / prizes coming soon. So do check it out. Super easy to get started on there, cheaper than a lot of other platforms, guys, and can work worldwide and is US friendly to our US viewers out there who can't actually trade on a lot of different exchanges. So highly recommend BTCC, and they are obviously a paid partner with the channel Market Mates as well. All right, Craig, we're gonna get straight into it. I mean, we'll go with some trending headlines like Iran and like Strait of Hormuz and all of this. Like it's still very much still on the radar and very much still has occurrences with missiles and whatnot still happening. But Trump pretty much coming out overnight and saying we have already won in many ways, but we haven't won enough. So he's manipulating his words a bit. But I mean, it seems as though the rally, at least in the past couple of hours, has been on the back of potentially it's slowing down a little bit over there. And obviously oil as well has obviously dumped, which also shows that there's less risk over that side of the world as well, because potentially, well, yeah, no, maybe the Strait is going to stay open. Maybe like the world's going to stay open. Hello to you over Easy Films. Welcome to the channel. GM to everyone else in the chat and who's tuning in. But Craig, yeah, any particular like things that you've read this morning that about the Strait of Hormuz and Iran and Israel and all of that?
No, not really. I'm sort of a little bit behind just getting my son to school, to be honest. But no, I mean, I caught up with the news last night, but I haven't seen what's happened in the last sort of 8 hours.
Yeah.
So you'll kind of be filling me in here. Is that strait still closed?
Yes, no, I think it is still. I don't know. I actually don't know. Sorry, it was just it's just more about, yeah, look, you can read whatever Trump says, but half the time that's not even accurate with what's actually happening. So I don't know, it's just something to be aware of. So keep an eye on. We will not rest until Iran is totally defeated, is his words as of overnight as well. On a similar note, closer to home, DJ Trump actually called Albanese this morning, Craig, because Iran women team played our Australian soccer team and some other Asia Cup teams recently this week, and they were going to be traveling back to Iran, but basically Trump was like, don't do that. Like, allow them to stay in your country, have asylum if they are required. And yeah, I think Albanese was like, oh yeah, okay, Mr. Trump, yes sir. Bro, come on, Albanese, wake up to the world that you live in, bro. Seriously, like, Dude, Australia, we're heading into a fascinating world, Craig. Dude, I don't know. It's cyclical, obviously. Like each government brings in different parties, different things that happen. It's always the same. This happens and that happens, and this happens and that happens, and it's always. But until one leader comes in and actually makes a difference, dude, Australia's heading down a very dangerous path. It is a very dangerous path.
Yeah, not much backbone, eh?
No.
Not much backbone. Weak leaders, man.
That's
weak times create
it.
weak men, Greeny, and we've got weak men now.
Well, like we're so leveraged to the rest of the world that we can't make our own definitive decisions. We can't stay out of out of situations because we are so leveraged to China, to the US, to the UK. Like we should be one of the richest countries in the world due to our resources as well. We talk about that often on the show. Yet we aren't because we sell it at a low cost and we actually buy back gas from Japanese at a higher premium that came originally from Australia. How does that work? How do we have such a progressed society in our country, Craig, yet we have less than a month's worth of fuel reserves in our country? Like, it just makes no sense. Who is running this country? Seriously, it drives me insane because I worry about that from just an everyday perspective, not in a market perspective about where the world's heading, like affordability crisis, like the Woolworths and Coles in our country monopolize everything. They own everything. They monopolize the prices. Inflation on groceries is absurd. It's up like 2x in the past few years. So I just worry from the point of view of an Australian citizen, Craig. That's my main concern.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a bummer. The people that have been in charge over the last 20, 30, 40 decades have been selling off our assets. Because if you think about it, this is the way my juvenile take on it, is if, that the land in Australia is producing wealth, I would have liked to have thought, and this comes from a non-Australian citizen as well, but I still believe this and I wouldn't get a penny. I still believe the locals here should get a reward or their quality of life should increase because of the value we have in this land that we extract from. So I'm not exactly sure why we sell these things overseas, because it's us as the average day citizens that are missing out, and then we still pay up to 40 to 50% tax. Absolutely ridiculous, man.
It is ridiculous. And he's literally coming out saying he wants to decrease negative gearing, which is for basically investors who own investment properties, and increase capital gains tax. This guy is an idiot. Okay, I'm sorry, but he is an actual idiot of understanding. Dude, it's just that the politicians are literally just reaping their own pockets, reaping rewards for their own pockets, and they don't actually give a shit about the everyday Australian. Okay, fascinating. Jason Pizzino, I mean, this is all over Twitter and all over news, not just him, but the last time Australia 10-year yields were at 5%, Craig, was 15 years ago. Yields are rising, bonds are falling. That means interest rates will likely increase. That means inflation will likely continue to increase, which is bad for me as a new mortgage owner.
Let's go.
I need to call the bank and get a fixed interest rate ASAP, Rocky, because that's crazy.
Yeah, Jesus. Same for myself, man, except I guess the benefit of mine is my house was half the price. So mine will be a little bit lower, unfortunately, or fortunately for me. But tough times, dude, tough times. But I mean, you and me have been speaking about this for, it feels like a long time, a couple of years even, that this is coming, or looks like it's coming, and it's nothing we didn't think. It's just unfortunate. It's like, this is going to sting. So we need to drop a few CAs, Greeny, and get you paid, brother. Isn't that what people do on crypto Twitter?
Yeah, that's like they love to. Crime is legal on CT. Crime is legal on CT.
Apparently, until they're locked up, and then it's not.
Yeah. No, this is an interesting one for me because look, again, when you lock in a fixed interest rate, it obviously stays at that amount. Your offset doesn't hit that particular capacity, but perhaps that's actually not a bad bet for a percentage of your mortgage that I'll be looking at in the coming weeks, because inevitably I do think that we are going into a crisis here over the next 2 to 3 years, Craig. I mean, my question to you, just from a speculation point of view, is do you I think rates continue to increase this year in Australia, probably into next year potentially as well. It's just how long would you lock in a fixed interest rate for? 2 years, 3 years? I would assume that you would save money over a 2-3 year period. Maybe not 5 to 10 years though.
Yeah. Gee, that's a good question. I actually don't know the answer because I haven't looked at it long enough, but I'd probably look, I mean, I'd probably lock in 2 years.
Yeah.
I don't know about 3, only because it allows flexibility, but the only downside is if you unlock in 2 years and it's sky high, you're in trouble, right?
But at least you save in the short term, I suppose.
Yeah, and I kind of think about, I'm like, well, 1 extra year, whatever. But yeah, I don't know, man. I that's something I need to have a look at ASAP, actually, now that this is happening. So, a good reminder to me. I got to go and probably go talk to my bank man and say, right, guys, let's negotiate. Yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks that you get hit from every angle. Inflation hits you. Then, there's a bear market, so you're not making as much in crypto like you and me. This is our job, right? So this is where we make our money. So you make less. And then your repayments on your house goes up. You're like, geez, man, I'm getting smoked. And then fuel prices for your car goes up. Probably down today, though, hopefully, if the
but not really, because the businesses here are rot and they won't drop it until there's like obvious
couple of days, maybe a couple more days of gouging. So it's like we just get smacked from everywhere. I sort of, just to go back on Australia, wasn't Australia they proposed a little while back a capital gains tax on unrealized gains? They tried to pass it.
I think they talked about it, but no, the Netherlands, they got smacked away. I mean, that's just dumb. And I mean, the Netherlands actually are going to implement it from 27 or 2028. Like, that's crazy. It's like, if you lived in that country, I'm sorry, I'm gone. I'm like probably gone. Like, as much as you got family, friends here, I'm gone if that ever happens. Like, that's just the stupidest rule I've ever heard.
Same. It showed you, I think it gave you a taste of maybe things to come, though, maybe, because they obviously wanted, they just tested the waters. They got enough pushback and they went, well, okay, let's drop this later.
Australia makes so much money from tax in this country already. It is absurd. Why? Like, they are just greedy MFers. Greedy MFers. Anyways, last point. I'll talk about
it's because the government just continues to grow. They don't shrink in size typically. So when they grow in size, like any business, they've got more people on the payroll. How do they pay those people? Without tax money.
They think about new things.
So my opinion is cut government. I don't think we need as many. And let's make it performance-based like the rest of the world we live in. I was always performance-based in jobs. So are you. If their performance isn't good, e.g. Our debt grows, things go, prices increase, let's give them performance-based bonuses. And if they don't hit that and they don't serve our country, they get paid hardly anything like the rest of us. I think that's fair.
I mean, that's valid. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to think that like enough on that topic. A couple of comments here, which are really interesting. Over Easy Film says, oil prices go up, inflation worsens in Western countries. I agree with that point. GM AJ Callis says, GM Greeny, 2 questions. Should I sell Solana and Zcash and buy Hyperliquid? My first answer to that is we do not provide financial advice on this channel. It's all for educational and entertainment purposes only. However, I would say, look, you don't want to be FOMOing into a big pump, right? You don't want to be like, I mean, Hyperliquid, look at this candle. Like this weekly candle is up like crazy. Like, you want to buy it when there's value there. It's up 14% this week. You don't want to be FOMOing it. Like, the thing about this is we still have so much time in the bear market ahead that I'm patient. I think you'll get opportunities to buy this. I mean, a week ago, it was at $30. 2 weeks ago, it was at $26, right? So I think you just need to stay patient. As you saw, like, we recently pumped up into this area at $38 about a month ago. So inevitably, like, I think, for me at least, the way I like to go about it is patience. When no one's talking about it, when it's not in the news, when it's not pumping, that's probably the time to accumulate, to get in. If it's pumping, if it's up heaps, I just step away. Like, that's again, 10 years of experience will get you there. Otherwise, you start tapping into things that you won't be proud of, and strategies that will not last long term. Okay, so we're talking, you're buying tops and you're probably selling bottoms because no one's talking about it when you're selling. Then you're buying into it because everyone's talking about it. Literally flip the mindset and do the opposite. Look to buy bottoms, okay, when no one's talking about it, and look to sell tops when everybody's talking about it. So even like right now, like I'm up about 30% from our 26 spot buy. And I think maybe I should start to de-risk here because we're still very much in a bear market trend. So that's the way I like to think about it. Again, a good question though. Good question. What else? OBs hold all. Yeah, look, I think it's interesting. Aris in the comments as well, but welcome to you and GM this morning. Greeny, you spoke my mind. Canada does the same thing. They export oil to the US and buy it back. It's super frustrating. Yeah, Canada is probably a great case study of where Australia is heading. Okay, Canada's property market collapsed. Canada's prices are exorbitant. Okay, that's literally where Australia is heading. Is very much where Canada is already at. So fascinating times. I think if people study Canada, they'll probably realize that Australia is heading down a very similar pattern as well. So appreciate that, Aris, because I think that's very important. And I mean, Over Easy Films also says that we're in the exact same situation today like we were in 2008. Sadly, I was in grade 8, so I can't understand that. But I can understand the pattern recognition there. But that's why BTC was invented, Craig. But like we discussed yesterday on the show, go back and watch that if you haven't already. Bitcoin hasn't gone through a property like a full market bubble correction, Craig. It wasn't around like COVID. Yeah, well, I mean, it was around in COVID, but you know what happened to Bitcoin in COVID? It literally halved within a day. So that's the thing. I was like, I didn't have money. I'd only just started working as a full-time teacher when markets dumped and Bitcoin went from like 6,000 US Australian dollars to like 3,000 Australian dollars. And I was like, oh my God, that's down 50, 60%.
$3,000.
And yeah, it like dropped instantaneously by 50, 60%. And I was like, well, upon reflection now, 6 years later, like that's a good insight to perhaps like what would happen in a full market collapse, which I still think like we've been saying for a while, Craig. I think we do see a market collapse in some capacity in the years to come. Whether it's sooner rather than later, we'll have to just wait and see.
Give me a black swan, man. I want a black swan. That's the moment.
I don't have a cash. I have a bit of cash, but not a lot of cash.
I was looking yesterday. I had the unfortunate experience of having to transfer all my assets from the Magic Eden wallet. And like any degen out there, I had many wallets, obviously, because you've got dirty wallets for minting. You've got all sorts, right? So it's not like I'm doing anything that anyone really cares about. It's more just wallet hygiene as well. So once I've used it long enough, I move it to another one, stuff like that. So I've probably got 40 Magic Eden wallets. Dude, that was my day.
That's absurd.
Yeah. I'm pretty careful with stuff. My wallet hygiene's impeccable, brother.
Before you continue, what's the amount in a wallet? I mean, you have a Pudgy Penguin, so it's a bit different, but what's the amount in a wallet where it starts to worry you?
Yeah, good question. Probably 30K plus.
Yeah, okay, fair. I think that's higher than I thought. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so no, I'm not doing it at 1K. You know, but no, I've got you'd have a meme coin wallet, an altcoin wallet, a Bitcoin wallet, a minting wallet, an ordinals wallet. It adds up pretty quickly.
Yeah, fair.
And so I can't remember what I was going to speak about here. Anyway, that was my day yesterday, guys. Sorry for that intervention, Greeny. I don't even know my point.
No, I think it was more just around a comment of like, yeah, well, like crypto, right? Like it's where the world's heading, how expensive it is, how like I don't know. I mean, for me, I'm the same. I like to keep wealth separated. More recently, I've
That's what I was going to speak about. Sorry. And I had the unfortunate experience of having to see what everything had depreciated to in some of the smaller wallets.
Dude, okay, this is a lesson to you and to our lovely friend who is in the comment section, proof of Eli. Friends, click sell. Take profit, have a validation, click. It's okay to click sell. I'm talking to you, Craig. I'm talking to you, Eli. I'm talking to everybody out there. It's okay to click sell, guys. If it rallies after, so be it, okay? If it dumps after, you are very happy that you click sell, okay? It's okay to click sell.
And you'll be proud of me, Greeny. I consolidated 40 wallets into 4.
Holy crap.
Now for tracking purposes.
Dude, how do you like I partner with some crypto tax calculator. Do you use something similar like Coinly or them?
No, I've always done it just manually. Send me the link, Greeny.
Holy shit. I'll give you a 20% discount right here, right now. Here you go. Dude.
No, I've never used it.
Craig, brother. Holy bro, you're stuck in 2014.
Yeah. Can Claude do this for me, Greeny?
I mean, I use Claude for a lot, but I actually was going to run, speaking on Claude, I was going to run through my business bank statements with Claude and say, help me save money here. Where am I spending money too much? Where could I save money? I think I'll do that today potentially as well. Eli coming in, welcome channel legend, good to see you. We will never see 60K Bitcoin again. Over Easy Films. Let's say we were to get a Black Swan event. What would you do? What would you sell to buy BTC? would you go all in? What price are we saying? Well, see, that's the thing. Like we do speak about this often. Like what asset is even like most assets are still overpriced here. I watched a really good YouTube video yesterday about an investor. Can't remember his name actually. He has a lot of followers, so he's probably pretty well known. He's from the UK, I think. He was like, well, you need to think about like how like the money is like why these tech stocks particularly are so overvalued, and how you can make sure that you position your portfolio so that they don't make up a huge percentage, because once they start to make up a huge percentage of your portfolio, then from that position you start to really be worried about because if they collapse, then your downside risk is way higher, right? So he was talking about sort of gold. That's a really interesting one for me, because as the US starts to lose less power globally, that puts pressure on the US dollar to be the global currency, and really starts to introduce the opportunity as potentially gold or stable coins being the general currency around the world. China is buying gold at the most aggressive rate that it has in years. Gold recently had a complete, I can't remember what it's called, but 2 years ago or within the last year or two, it now can be traded as a potential asset for most other assets as a like BTC to USD. It would be maybe BTC against gold, right? So if you look at things like Hyperliquid, okay, which continues to bring assets, opportunities on chain, we're talking oil, gold, silver, platinum, US 500, HRP4, HRP5, HRP6, those updates are going to be insane. As the world heads, and we've spoken about this previously as well, like how crypto has changed the landscape of allowing 24/7 markets, it really starts to be an interesting conversation around, and we spoke about this too, diversification, Craig. So I think you want to be cash, like, and that YouTuber said he is a little bit more cash heavy than he normally would, because he does think that the market does correct. He has the same sort of takeaway as we do. Like, you can't go up this long and not have a market crash. It's not a matter of if, it's when. And I think that's what a lot of people can't understand, because they've only seen markets go up for the last nearly 20 years, up only. Sure, you get like short corrections, okay? But they've seen an asset like Bitcoin. They've seen the S&P 500. They've seen the NASDAQ. They've seen NVIDIA. They've seen Microsoft. They've seen Apple go on this 2-decade-long like juggernaut, like just astronomical levels, $1 trillion companies, particularly when you start to introduce XAI, OpenAI, Anthropic. Once they get into the market, holy shit, we are so overextended. We need a collapse. We need not a collapse. Okay, that's horrific. But we need a correction, because you can't have that much false money value. And you got to remember, stocks particularly, and crypto, everything trades ahead of time. Everything is okay, well, hold on. Hyperliquid makes sense. Yeah, people are thinking in the future, right? That's why
you are.
Exactly. That's why assets pump, because they're thinking in the future, right? Well, I don't know, man. I'm more conservative than I have been for a long time. The interesting part is now I've dabbled into property as a diversification sort of metric as a cash allocation. But if Australia starts to bloody increase interest rates, well, then that's going to bloody ruin me, right? So I need to make money elsewhere, right? And that's by probably having diversification in other assets, Craig. How about you? Like, what? Like, I think you want to have exposure to metals. You want to have exposure to stocks. You want to have exposure to probably index funds, as well as just a safe, small percentage of your portfolio that is super low risk. Probably want to have a decent sized cash position, Bitcoin, maybe something like Ethereum. If AI is going to be starting to integrate, like we discussed yesterday, that's probably the best way to think about wealth. But that's probably only like a small percentage of people who have money to move around and capture that. A lot of people don't have spare liquidity, Craig. So it's a different question.
The people that stashed money away for a rainy day will go really well in the black swan. People that took profits on the way up will do really well. And when I say took profits, I mean took profits into stables of fiat, not profits into, say, rotate back into Bitcoin, which is pulled back. So I'm really glad I was starting to take cash positions up a year ago, starting to and that's why I put out tweets maybe upwards of a year ago going, cash is going to be king in the near future, and no one got it back then. They'll get it soon. They're probably getting it now. People probably understand, or people are probably thinking, sheesh, I wish I had some spare funds right now for when this pulls back further. But it's not the sort of thing people have done, because like you said, over the last 2 decades, it's only gone up. So when things only go up for 20 years, people's memories of it going down are very slim, or a long time ago, or some of us don't remember. I was at uni the last time it crashed. So I had other things on my mind. I didn't care about the markets when I was at uni, man. Not at all. So for myself, I don't really remember it. I mean, I've watched enough videos and whatever you want to call it, movies, The Big Short and stuff about 2008. Obviously, that's the reason why Bitcoin came along. But geez, yeah, you want to be having a cash position for sure, I think, because when these crash, if you don't have cash, you're going to have to get out of things. You're going to have to redistribute things, but you're going to be selling bottoms. And that's the problem. And that's one of the questions someone asked was like, oh, should I sell Zcash and stuff to go into Hyperliquid? It's like, whoa, that for me would be a definite no. Well,
not now, not after this pump, but
no.
Timing, no. Yeah.
No, you're chasing, you're like you said, you're selling a bottom and chasing a pump, and chasing a pump, in my experience, hardly ever works out. Like, and I've done it so many times.
I've done it plenty of times as well.
I've tested this theory, guys, thoroughly.
And we speak from experience. That's why
not from books, because I didn't listen to the books, dude. I'm one of those people. I have to get cut to learn, man. I have to feel pain to learn. I don't learn.
Sadly, most people do.
Yeah, pain's the best teacher. Not pleasure so much. Pain's a very good teacher. So after 5 years of getting slaughtered or getting it wrong, eventually you go, okay, I've done this 100 times, and my ego got in the way, and I thought I could outtrade the market, and I knew better.
Or I could outtrade Greeny and Craig.
Yeah, exactly. The market's a big teacher, man, and it's spanked me many times. Now I'm like, okay, you're the boss.
And it'll continue to spank us. That's the lesson, right? We speak about that on the channel often, is you need to learn to lose. That's part of investing. It's part of trading. The best traders, the best investors, they know how to lose. Okay? Warren Buffett, he would have lost. Exactly. Like, you need to. He's got the most. I mean, we spoke about that a few months ago, or not even a month. Yeah, maybe a few weeks ago. Warren Buffett has the most cash that he's ever had in a long time. If that guy's selling assets for cash, that you should probably be paying attention. You should probably be paying attention.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see if the black swan will be. I mean, we don't know if there will even be one. I'm not even saying there will be one, but usually the news tries to give us a reason for a big crash. I think we've been speaking about this a while. I think there's a big crash coming, only because we've gone so high. Everything's overvalued, I think, meaning it's got to pull back. People are going to sell, take profits. And then after the big dogs take profits, retail's going to freak out. They're going to sell. The ones that don't sell are going to go, oh, this is just a pullback, I'll buy. And then it dumps again. Then they go into despair and anger. Then it pulls back even further. So there's levels to it, right? It's dump, recover, dump, recover, dump, recover. And then eventually retail goes, I've had enough, have mercy, I'm out. Then I buy. I buy when retail has gone. There's bodies everywhere. They're massacred. They're like, Bitcoin's failed. The government's failed. Trump's failed. Albanese's failed. Who's going to save us? Well, here's the thing, man. Only you will save yourself. No one's coming to save you guys. So you're going to have to save yourself. The government's not saving anybody, not in my experience. So I am glad I took profits on the way up. I wish I'd taken more. I was doing some light napkin math yesterday, and it wasn't so nice, including my pudgy. Yeah, would have, could have, should have.
That's the one trade I got wrong. Was the pudgy
big one, eh? I was like, shucks, because my numbers, I remember my numbers I'd written down about a year ago. It was about 150K US left on the table, approx, give or take.
That's why I take profits, chat. That's why I take profits.
It's quite a lot of money, dude. 150K, and I mean, easy to. I could have easily have taken it. It wasn't like, oh, if I got that trade, like these were very simple. I just had to click a couple of sell buttons, bro. Probably 3, and I'd have about 200, a quarter of a million US, quarter of a million Australian more. Quarter of a million, really.
Exactly, bro. No, my only negative trade in the past, a couple of years is well, I mean, I take losses. Sorry, the trade that I've round tripped, the one that I've round tripped is the pudgy, and it's because our old mate in the chat. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to blame him. It was my own decision. No, okay, moving on. I shared this chart yesterday, Craig. I'm reading the market like an absolute book right now. So we saw a bit of a rally here above the midline of the mid range on Bitcoin at around 66.7. I shared this in GTG yesterday. Decided I'd disclose it publicly. And pretty much I was like, look, I want to see a pullback into this 66.7 region, and then would love to see a target up to these levels. Now, I didn't reveal how I did, like how I analyze this, how I predicted that would be probably the price levels to target. Again, CT, you get a little bit of a taste. G2G, you can ask me anything and I'll give you a 10-hour explanation. Okay. Maybe not that long, but anyways, I'll give you a concise explanation in tutorial or video or whatever it is, right? You can ask me about it and I'll always help. Fast forward to this morning, Craig. Look at the accuracy, brother. We saw this video, we saw a pullback. Unfortunately, I didn't take the trade myself. I was busy yesterday afternoon, so I didn't get to have the entry. And my one lesson from this mistake, because I didn't get to take the trade, is that I should have set my alert a little bit higher than the mid-range. So if you see here, this dotted line, my alert was at 66.7 and price only came down to about 66.8. So I missed it by about $70. But what we did see was a nice rally exactly to my TP area. How did I identify this TP area? A lot of people in chat, yes, I know you are asking. It is a confluence of liquidity. We teach you how to read that in GTG, and I did a live stream explaining that this morning. So guys, dude, I'm on an absolute heater at the moment reading the market. It's good to, yeah, I'm on a heater.
Boy, Greeny, do you want to know something else pretty sad?
What?
When I went onto my my computer that had some of my money that I was moving yesterday, I went into my Magic Eden wallet and I had a quarter of a Bitcoin that I'd set to
a quarter of a Bitcoin.
Yeah, 0.25, guys, Mr. Rich Guy. And I had gone on Magic Eden, swapped it, thought I had swapped it into stables at 98K, and it hadn't gone through. It's still processing. It was still trying to process.
Oh my God, bro, get off chain.
I almost smashed my screen, dude, when I saw that.
Dude, that's horrific. Dude, okay, big lesson here. Don't use new wallets. Just use Raby. Use Raby. Raby was the best.
Raging, bro. I was raging when I saw that. So that's about I don't know. What's that? I mean, we're down 30%, quarter of a Bitcoin. What's that, 10K US or something? Oh, man.
Yeah, probably about that. Yeah, 10
Give me your thoughts here. So I had obviously thought that it sold. So I've got a bit more Bitcoin than I thought I had, unfortunately. Do you think I sell into this rally here, or should I just ride it out? If you were me.
As always, everything on this channel is not financial advice.
This is friend to friend right now.
This is disclaimers in the description for everybody watching. It's such a, like, I think this range between 60 and 70 is value. That's the issue. I think it is value, even though I don't hold any per se. My value starts buying again below 60. If you don't, it always comes back to an IRL circumstance for me. If you don't need the money, the business doesn't need the money, then there's no point probably selling the asset. I mean, you could tax loss harvest it from that perspective, I suppose. Yep. And I dropped that link in the chat for a 20% discount. That would probably be the only thing I'd consider, which is one consideration I will have leading into June is tax loss harvesting.
Fine.
Well, it depends though. It depends when you bought the Bitcoin. So you've round tripped it, but you might have bought it lower. So and that's why you should be like, trust me. That's why you need to use tax softwares like Crypto Tax Calculator. You know, I'll drop it in the chat, guys, because you get 20% discount. I've used some /Crypto Tax Calculator for years. Highly recommend it. I am a paid partner with them, just to clarify. And did a short for them just this morning. Look, I like that way. Like if you're using a software like that, you can already, your accountant or you can identify these sort of things ahead of time. So you can say, okay, well, hold on, this asset's up amount or this asset's down an amount. Well, maybe we should strategically, and it's not like, you just need to be careful. You don't want to get audited by selling this. Like the thing about the NFT is that it's different because you're probably not going to be buying back the exact same NFT, right? If I was to sell a Pudgy Penguin, then I would probably have to buy a different Pudgy Penguin at a lower price. So I should be okay if I was to be audited. The trouble it comes is if you start doing this with like millions of dollars, for example, and you start going, well, hold on, I bought Bitcoin at 100K and I'm selling at 70K. Well, and then you buy it back immediately at 70K. That's red flags waving. Hey, let's dive deeper into this guy over here, right? So you do need to be careful. You need to be aware of, but that was probably, if you don't need the cash for the business / yourself, It's a hodl. Put it on a thing and give it to your son when he turns 18. I don't know. Yeah, like if you don't, that's maybe the way I'd kind of think about it.
Yeah, sort of same thought process as me. Yeah, no, I agree. It's when I saw it hadn't gone through, and I checked it. Obviously, I know what the price of Bitcoin is now. I was like, man, I'm stuck in the mud a bit now because it's not. I don't think we're far off the bottom. Although I did think about it, I was like, we could still go down 20-30%, dude.
I also think we're not far away from the bottom either. I just got to let my dog out of the room.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so mistakes do happen, guys. That was really frustrating, Magic Eden. You broke my balls on that, man. That really hurt. So shout out to Magic Eden there. That was terrific.
Craig, I'm sorry to tell you, but I probably could have told you that was going to happen like a year ago.
Yeah, piece of shit, man.
Dude, I remember
that cost me that.
Dude, I remember trying to claim the Magic Eden airdrop via the wallet, and it was the most like shittest wallet experience I'd ever had on chain.
Just diabolical, eh?
It was not friendly. Not friendly. All right, moving on to some trending topics. Oil pulls back 25%, probably more actually this morning. Spike as G7 discusses emergency reserve release of oil. Crude oil dropped from Hyperliquid. Again, this word is everywhere. Dropped from 114 to 102. It is now at 87 after reports that the G7 finance ministers would discuss a joint release of strategic oil reserves to cool the price. Due to the conflict. So, I mean, with open interest, yeah, dude, this is crazy. Oh my God. So, okay, open interest was 182 million and $823 million of 24-hour volume on Hyperliquid, Craig. Oh, dude, it is insane. It is insane. It is insane what Hyperliquid is building.
Dump it, man. I need lower, man. This is annoying. I hate seeing all this stuff, and I'm not in.
I mean, I'm in from 26 with a small bag, but like, I mean, I would love 30 again. I think anything below 30 really starts to be. And I mean, I had the chart up just before. Hold on, I just got out of it. Here it is. Like, this is a range, okay? You got to treat it as a range until the range is broken, right? So this is our range from the lows here, okay, to the current highs, which is respecting this high time frame weekly level, okay? This is your range, all right? So I think anything that trades back towards the mid-range at about $29, $30 remains probably a really good opportunity. I probably will look for an opportunity to maybe short this back towards the mid-range in the coming days, coming week or so. Who knows? Wait and see. And alternatively, if we start to come back down to here, I will look to long. The lesson you got to learn, the lesson you have to learn, guys, is time, okay? Bear markets take time. So that's why I'm not FOMOing in here thinking that we're going to see a new all-time high, which I think someone in the comments was like, oh yeah, there it is. Aris said, what about a new all-time high of Bitcoin in 26? Sorry, no, it's not possible. Like, maybe at the we would have to spend a long time showing strength at 60K. Then I might say, I don't think all-time highs, but a rally back to 100 could very much happen. But if we do lose the 60K lows, absolutely not. We are definitely not seeing a new all-time high until probably 28, I'll say 28. Wow.
It's too far away, man.
You got to, I mean, but yeah, Hyperliquid's in a range between 22 and 36. All right, that's your range. No candle bodies above that, no candle bodies below that. That's your range on a high time frame sense, and that's how you got to read it. Craig, I always come back to this, man. Like, and this is like study time. Study time. This accumulation zone took 300 days for Bitcoin to break above the previous highs. All right. The one before that was even crazier. All right. Now, COVID obviously probably prolonged that. But look here. Okay. This structure here. Price did not go above that level for 1,008 days. All right. That is nearly 3 years. This is how bear markets work. Okay. If this is going to be a fast bear market, well, then, yeah, let's say 200 days. All right. That's probably 200 days from nearly where we are. If we start making a new all-time low, sorry, not a new all-time low, but if we start making a new low, that clock restarts, Craig. That's the thing that people don't understand. It restarts, all right? So, like, you could put in a bear market low in June or July or September this year or August, I think Q3. You could put in a price low. That doesn't mean that you don't leave your accumulation zone for a year or two after, right? We could range between 50 and 75K for a good 400 days before we break 75K and push higher, right? So these are the things that you could eat. And this is what I'm alluding to over here. Like, wherever this buy zone is, wherever this accumulation zone is, whether this is it right now or whether this is it down here, it does not happen until the structure change occurs, right? And the structure change will likely be above these highs, all right? So price will trade back into the zone. Okay, we'll do stuff like this, all right, months and months. And until it starts to break that is where the structure change happens, and that is where your bull market starts yet again, all right? That's exactly how it works. You just got to stay patient. That's how price works over time, all right? And as you said, we just saw one of the most lucrative bull markets in history from 23 to 2025. Radium did a 40x. Solana did a 20x. Meme coins did it in a trillion X. Okay, if you caught them correctly, traded them correctly. I made 30 grand on a Mad Lad. I made 25 grand on a BTC public. There were opportunities everywhere. I made 17 grand on a Magic Eden airdrop. I made 100 grand on a Pengu airdrop. Okay, there was money opportunities everywhere. So therefore, you need to correct, and you need to spend time correcting, Craig.
Yeah. Feels like a long time, 28 away, doesn't it? Yikes, man.
I'll be an old man by then.
Jesus, I'm like, man, I got to start. Oh, I might have to get an OnlyFans going, man. In between that, jeez.
Trade set up on OnlyFans.
Yeah, Craig's coin purse. Woo! Yeah, sharks is bad. But hey, look, if we buy the lows, should end up aging pretty nicely. It's just, like you said, it's patience. Patience is not something humans like. I'm an impatient man. I'm not a patient person. I've learned to become patient, but man, 28 just sounds, but you know what? It does go quicker than you think as well. Once you're in the market and you're working and this year's going to go boff and it'll be 27. So, I guess the exciting part, one step at a time, rather than looking, I suppose, when the next all-time high is for the viewers in the room, scale it back, look where your opportunities are, and don't stress yourself too much when the highs are coming in. It's good to look at it like we do and maybe make a little plan. But at the same time, I'd also say to people, take this one step at a time, because otherwise you can get a little bit like overruled with like, oh my God, 28, so far away. And it just can cloud your mind. One step at a time. So we're getting towards the lows. That's the good bit. That's the bit I'll be clicking buy. And then the skillful part, apart from that, is clicking sell. That's where the real skill comes in. Clicking buy is fun. Clicking sell, even when you sell at all-time high, never at the time, because you don't know it's the all-time high. Like when I sold at 126, it's not as joyful as it should be. Strangely, it's a weird feeling, huh? And buying bottoms is not as exciting as you think it would be either, because you don't know it's the bottom. It's a weird psychology. Only later do you appreciate that you did it, but not at the time. At the time when you sell the top, you're like, oh, I could have held it longer. And when you buy the bottom, you're like, oh, it could go lower. It could go lower. So it's such a weird. And psychologically, it's tough.
And that's 99% of people probably fall into that category.
Yep.
For me, it's only been the last 2-ish years. I spoke about it a few weeks ago. That Mad Lad trade changed my perspective. It changed my perspective of how good it is to take profit when you're up an extraordinary amount, right?
And you win.
And you're not trying to time the top, because no one in the history of humankind, AI is still kind of in time tops and bottoms, right? No one in history can do that repetitively and consistently. So why the hell do you think hey, crypto lady or crypto bro out there, why do you think you can become the greatest trader of all time? The greatest investor of all time? No. Be realistic, stick to a trading plan. I built my trading plan over the last 10 years and I explain it all in GTG. Check it out down below. Craig, oil dumped tremendously overnight. We were talking about this. Jamps even put up a tweet saying, hey, can someone just like confirm when oil's going to top so I can just short the shit out of this? Jeez, and I was like, yeah, please, thanks. And it has obviously dumped overnight. I believe I was chatting to Guapo, who's part of the Bodogos team in GT. Oh, sorry, Guapo is in GTG as a member. And I was talking to him about how Easy and Kicks and stuff were talking about it on their show. And Easy got wrecked trying to long and short oil. So, I mean, you got to look at as well the big lesson. If you don't know what funding rate is, join us in GTG. We'll explain why you need to identify that, because Guapo was like, hold on, I don't want to trade this right now because of the funding rate. Because funding rate, it was absurd. I mean, I'll pull it up. I wonder if they're still that high, but it was correct. It was at like 0.5% this morning. Like CL is at 0.2, which is still very high. Oil is at 0.15. So you do need to be super aware of that. Even though, yeah, you've got huge open interest, okay, across the board and huge volume, it doesn't necessarily mean that you should take the trades, because funding rate might ruin your whole position. So yeah, check it out. Craig, any thoughts here? Is this like, is the war rally of oil over? Make a bold prediction.
Ooh, yes. Yeah, lower. Polymarket would have been a good bet, huh? There were a few sweet little trades on that, but I think that you had to. When was it? It was a certain price by the end of May.
End of March or May? I think you could. It was different time periods. So I think that was like end of March, end of May, end of June, end of April. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a GTG member who came in with some pretty good data actually, and was saying, guys, this could be a pretty good one. I think you had prices below 100, below 80, below 70, below 60.
Okay.
Obviously, it has to be below that by that time, at the end of that time. But yeah, I don't know. Nah, when I say no, I don't know if that is the end of the rally. It just depends what friggin' old mate the orange man does, bro. Like it's
valid.
It's so like normally I'd be stronger on these calls, but with him there, the guy's just a cowboy, man. He terrifies me in the markets. Hey, I'm like, well, stop talking, brother. Yeah, I need him to pipe down. I don't know. But that pullback, I wonder how many people got wrecked on that, man. Because that chart looked beastie yesterday. But after a pump that high, I guess that, you know.
But I think that's a lesson. Like if it's something's pumping, look to sell, look for short. If something's dumping, look for longs, look for buys. Like that. Do the opposite of what price is doing, and you'll be way more profitable over time.
Also on the timeline yesterday, probably another good indicator to sell when you had all the oil experts on the timeline yesterday.
I put a tweet out recently saying,
yeah, probably a good time to sell when everyone in X becomes an oil baron and knows everything about oil, because they don't. We don't. I don't. Yeah. So another lesson: don't chase pumps. If anyone chased that oil pump yesterday, you just got smoked, man. Like
smoked.
Glad I didn't chase that bad boy. But no, I wouldn't chase a pump like that. That was ridiculous. But GG to anyone who caught that trade. If you're in a long or something, oh man. I mean, as far as when it pumped and you took profit, wow, great trade. And conversely, whoever shorted that top, woohoo, you're in profit too. So there'll be people out there that made good money. They just won't be the people on the timeline who are oil baron experts, bro. Those people, those aren't the traders.
No. Half, mate. No, I was going to say half, but 90% of CT doesn't know how to trade. So, crypto news: Blockfields faces court order. Vancouver drops BTC reserve plan, and Deep Snitch AI crosses 1.96 million with 1000x launch in sight for March. I mean, this is just like, we won't dive too deep into this story, but it's more about just, again, a reserve plan for Bitcoin happening in Canada. If we come and have a look at some other markets as well, Nigel Farage takes 6% stake in UK Bitcoin treasury firm Stack BTC. Like, I mean, the lessons here is that as retail continues to be chasing altcoins, chasing 100x plays, moving to prediction markets.
Oh, I think Greeny dropped out.
Oh, I'm back. Okay.
You're back.
I'm back. The lesson here is, as retail continues to chase altcoins, chase 100x's, chase prediction markets, chase meme coins, chase Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
You know what institutional wealth is doing? They are just stacking Bitcoin. They are just stacking Bitcoin at a institutional, at a government, at a hedge fund, at a country-based level. Dude, how much more obvious should it be to you that you should have X amount of exposure of Bitcoin probably in your portfolio? Now, of course, like we said earlier in the show, if you're someone that's got less than 10 grand, it probably isn't, like, it's a different trade. It's a different investment plan. But even in that, you could still be, for the next 2 years, you could just set up a weekly, a daily, a monthly DCA plan and probably walk away with more than you ever would have thought about, just by being religious and consistent and budgeting, man. Like, the amount of people that live without a budget. I don't know. Do you guys live with a budget?
We've got a budget, yeah.
Yeah, we have a budget. Like, it
You
is
kind
so
of need to when you
uncommon.
get a home and stuff. Yeah, and a
It's
kid.
so uncommon for people to not have a budget, Craig. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, when I was young in my 20s, I didn't really. I mean, I had a budget. My budget was I need enough money for beers.
Yeah.
But after, you know, once you grow up a bit, you're like, okay, I might have to start looking at things because I need to be able to eat. But I was going to say as well, you touched on if you don't have much money or you're young, I would encourage people, if they're young without much money, to look at your time horizon. And if you've only got 10 grand, if you can triple that 10 grand every 3 to 4 years, and you do that over a decade to 2 decades, say you're 20, by the time you're 40, dude, you should have a ludicrous amount of money, more than I have. And that's conservatively, right? Just trading Bitcoin, not financial advice. But if your time horizon's long, then 2-3X's are amazing, amazing. If you're 60, 70 years old, yeah, then it's different, right? But I would say if you've got less money, but you've got time on your side, your age, man, I think 2-3X's are pretty good. And you'll probably end up with more than that if you actually tune in every day, Greeny.
I mean, it's wisdom, experience, knowledge, skills. Like, it's all hard to teach, but it's time. Again, we speak about this as it's going to be a common conversation this year. But time, man, like it's hard for people to think about 5 years ahead or 10 years ahead. They want shit now, right? Like,
yeah, they want the latest PlayStation now, right? How are they going to buy it?
I know. Look, we all do. I mean, I have like a great ute out there that's worth 50 grand that I should probably not have. Like, you know, like I probably shouldn't use that, and I should just chuck it in the offset. You know what's crazy, Craig? That 50 grand ute, if I was to sell that and put it into the offset account, it would only save me about $55 a week. That's not much.
It's not really. I would have thought it would be more. That's actually ridiculously shite.
My question,
enjoy your car.
Yeah, exactly. My question to you is my ute worth $55 a week?
Yes.
Probably, right?
The way it depends how it makes you feel.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I feel like such a boss ass in that ute. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same. I've got an Audi. I haven't driven it for a long time, but I do know when I get into that car, it's not amazing. It's an older A4. It's sick though. I feel good, dude. I put the music up fucking loud, and for a moment, I'm like, yeah, this is sick. Yeah, I could sell it and put a bit in Bitcoin. I could probably upgrade it by a decade if that was the case. But it's how things make you feel as well, and there is value in how things make you feel. I would just encourage people to think about if it's a choice between the car or any money. Probably having money is
very different. Very different.
Yeah, it's a bit different. But I certainly do appreciate how assets can make you feel. And sometimes you can't put a price on that, man. It's we've got to live, right? We only get one go.
That was a comment I was going to say. You got to live, man. You got to live.
Just a little bit. And you don't want to be on your deathbed going, "Oh, I've saved all this money, but I've got no experiences." Like for me, that would be a failure. But that's me. Everyone's different, right? Everyone's different. But for me, I need to feel it. I need to feel the wind in my hair.
They do say, I studied a lot of what old people do say, and they say their regrets often stimulate around worrying about what other people think too much. Not spending enough time with friends and family. Not traveling is a big one. And all of the things that they ever bought, they don't give a shit about. It's the memories that they created is the things that often run into your memories when you are aging, right? So if you live your life understanding what they say, then it kind of really helps you position yourself now to be like, you know what? I should just go say yes to a friend when they like, hey, do you want to catch up for a meal or catch up for a drink? You're like, yeah, of course, mate. Like,
you think you've got plenty of time, don't you? At that point,
trust me, you don't. If you're younger than me, I'm 31 in a few weeks' time. Like, if you're younger than me and you're spending a lot of time with your friends and family and stuff right now, like, appreciate that because it goes out the window. I see my parents probably once a month. I see my sisters are about to fly over from the UK literally in a week. And that's the first time I'll see them in 2 years. So like, these are the sort of things like, and then my friends, like, because all your friends move away, I only see my friends like probably once every 2 months now. Right. Whereas we used to live together, used to catch up like multiple times. We used to go for a run together, used to ride your bikes together, used to go and party together. Like, cherish those because as you get older, I mean, particularly like, and you would be testament to this, as soon as you start to have your own kids too, time even gets more constricted for what you would normally do. And so I think a big way I want to try and live my life once we start a family is just making sure that you're still looking after yourself and looking after your wife and obviously looking after who you're friends with so that it doesn't change too much about what you want to try and do day to day and week to week.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, you'll find when you have kids, you just end up being friends with a lot of other people with kids.
Yeah.
Because people without kids don't
That's
understand,
cool.
and no one wants to sit with a family with a screaming kid, man, if they don't have kids. Like, no
Just don't have
one,
a
not even the
screaming kid.
parents.
Just don't have a screaming kid. Just kidding. Good luck.
I can't wait, bro. I can't wait to you.
We were with my niece and nephew over the weekend, and they're 3.5 and 1.5.
Yeah, that's tricky.
So it's like, and like,
That's
yeah,
tricky
it's like
ages.
they're so lovely, but it's also like you can't reason with them. They don't understand.
Nah, man. They're
they're like,
selfish. They're selfish their whole lives.
yeah, so
Like,
it's just,
which makes you reflect on yourself and how selfish you were.
I just think about, yeah, it's like,
That's the
sorry.
greatest part is when you have kids, you'll probably thank your parents a lot more because you will actually understand what they did for you. And you won't understand that when you're their kid and they've said no to things.
Exactly.
And then you have kids and go, thank you, mum and dad, for telling me I shouldn't do that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad I didn't. So yeah, there's a little lesson for you. Having kids is pretty life-changing in that regard.
Yeah. Yeah. No, very, very excited
for
for
baby greenies. Baby greenies.
Yeah, mate. We'll hopefully see. We've got a few things happening at the moment, so we just got to deal with all of those things first. Bitcoin dumping as of the past hour or so. We have lost 68.4K. We tapped into this liquidity zone up here, and now we are breaking support structure, but we haven't quite taken the low out at 68.3. Daily close looks pretty decent. The issue I still have here, Craig, is that we could easily come up into this. And like, if I actually zoom out to the weekly and just show everybody, like this is a very interesting candle here. This hammer candle, okay, is very interesting because this is all liquidity up here. So naturally, of course, we need to come up and at least grab some of this before probably continuing down. A lot of people, Eli, earlier in the comments were saying we're not going to 60K Bitcoin again. I couldn't disagree more, buddy. I couldn't disagree more.
I'm betting on we do.
Whoa, Eli, put your money where your mouth is, bro. Is he still here?
No, he would have come in just for a comment and left the dirty dog. Didn't even give us the numbers, Eli. I just want to, just real quick, Greeny, there's a pretty good question there by Keko7. Am I too late to cut loss at 90%? So he's down 90% of the pool. Or do I forget about it and just keep bidding the lows? I'm going to say just a quick thing. It depends what you're in.
Exactly. Yeah.
What is it? Are you in AVAX or are you in Bitcoin? Two different answers. If you're in Bitcoin, I'm in the same situation I spoke about earlier in the show. If you didn't see that, rewind, go back to about 20, 30 minutes. I've got a bit of Bitcoin I didn't realize I had. So I said to Greeny, would you sell here or hold? Greeny was like, it depends on your situation, which it does. But if I was in altcoins, ooh, depends. Like I've got a little bit of them left, but Solana. It's Solana I'm speaking about specifically here. I've got a bit of Sol left. I haven't got anything of anything else. I dumped my render and all that quite a while back.
Nice, mate. Hey, you know what? I'm glad to hear that. Here's a chart of XRP versus
Pengu, actually, Greeny. Pengu I dumped about a week.
Best decision you've made. Best decision.
Thank you.
Here's a chart that'll show you what asset you should have held. XRP versus Bitcoin. From 2018, XRP is down to 80%. All right. XRP against Bitcoin over the past, how long is this? 2,400 days, 6 years, 7 years nearly, has gone nowhere. That tells you everything you need to know. And arguably, there is worse altcoins out there than this beautiful XRP versus Bitcoin chart. Look at AVAX, look at Link, look at ADA, look at Say, look at Sui, look at so many bullshit altcoins out there that, sure, if you're an active trader, and this is what I was trying to articulate to GTD this morning. If you're an active trader, all right, then yeah, you can trade trends, but you got to be ruthless. You got to be ruthless with invalidation, and you got to be ruthless with take profit. And Eli put a video out saying like traders came into abstract and then traders left, and he's like, you can't be angry at them. They were chasing where volume and opportunity. That's the lesson in it. That's the lesson that you should have in crypto in general. Like anytime you marry something, it's going to end badly. Okay, it's as simple as that. Again, I'm 10 years in. I think I fucking know about it. You know,
I'm testament to that.
Exactly. And so the point of which you start to marry a bag, an NFT, a collection, a token, whatever it is, okay? that it moves into emotional hope rather than trading programmatically. Okay, and we're all here to make money. Okay, anybody telling you that they're not here to make money is kidding themselves. All right,
you're wasting your time being here then, mostly.
Exactly. So to build on that, what you should do is have strict invalidations. Okay, and all these dumb thesis, all these dumb people who fundamentally trade but lack technical understanding, you are literally going to continue losing money over time because you have no system. Okay, you can't trade on your gut. You can't trade on some dumb thesis that this meme coin is, oh, look, Toshi did this before, so this means that Abster's going to do it. Yeah. Special shout out to someone who probably knows who I'm talking about. All right, just so dumb, bro. Okay, yet that guy will still do a stream with charts on his stream the whole bloody time. Bro, makes no sense to me. Okay. Yeah.
I was just going to go off your point there as well, Greeny. I don't have one good story to say where I married bags.
Exactly.
Not one
There's not one thesis.
And I've had thousands of trades, tens of thousands.
I've got tens of thousands. You can see my crypto tax calculator with my sum transaction report. Literally 100,000 plus transactions. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about experience because I want to fast track your journey. Okay. My goal is to educate you so that you don't make the same mistakes as I did. Okay. So you don't fail like I did. All right. Pengu, let's look at it. Okay. If that's the chart you want to look at, I'm going to give it to you real. All right. As I have for weeks. Okay. This chart does not look good. You are making lower lows here on a monthly chart, and it'll likely oscillate between this range here at about 0.00842 and around sort of 0.0036. That is a 60% range. So you might, again, not financial advice, you're in your own circumstance. These assets might run it back. There will be a time that these assets make sense to buy, but that's an active position. It's not a spot position. You need to, again, portfolio construction, portfolio management is a whole journey in itself of understanding. And I take pride in understanding how it works, how risk works, how allocation works. From a spot perspective, I am not interested in any altcoins except Hyperliquid. Okay, and we've talked extensively about why. Outside of Hyperliquid, there is no altcoin. Maybe Ethereum at 13, 14, 1500, I start to be a little bit more interested. There's not one altcoin I'm interested in buying for the long term until I start to see Bitcoin put in a long-term accumulation zone or break market structure, which we are nowhere near market structure breaks, okay? It would have to reclaim 80, have a weekly close, a daily close, a 3-day close, a 5-day close above 85K or wherever that high is, 96K, wherever it is, I can't remember because I haven't looked at it because it's so far away. That is when I start to be interested in altcoins. And a lot of the time you need to then compare the asset against Bitcoin, okay? Here's Pengu USDT. Does not look good, all right? Always zoom out. Always zoom out. Here's Pengu versus Bitcoin, all right? So very similar structure as well, okay? You will have, and I say this, I traded this. I made an 8X on Pengu, okay? I bought like, I don't know, 4 grand, and I sold it all for 36 grand a couple months ago. I then ruined myself because I put it all into abstract meme coins. I walked away. Oh, man, I probably threw away. I don't know. I'm having fucking hay fever attack right now. Oh, my God.
I did earlier as well.
Oh, my God. My apologies for rubbing my nose so much if you're watching video, but I'm having a hay fever attack. Oh, dude. I need to go have some Telfast. Anyways, I made an 8X on Pengu. I then ruined myself because I threw it all into stupid meme coins on abstract with low liquidity and then round-tripped all of those. Well, not round trip. I still walked away with like 50K profit, but I was up to 130 grand on that platform. So I walked like a 70K loss, okay? Because I started doing things that I hadn't done for years. I started making the same mistakes I had done in my first 2 cycles. And I started FOMOing into dumb shit because I thought things were going high. It's literally like the times where you lose the most money is those stupid things you did in the past, which also lost you money. So the lesson here is you will get plenty of times of outperformance, but I don't think you're going to get outperformance for a while just yet, okay? Until Bitcoin starts to really show us a change of structure, a change of character, or shows us a long-term accumulation range. That is how bear markets work.
I agree. One of the things I did well this bull run, but also poorly towards the end, was what I did well to start with was I only went in with about 3 or 4 bags, different coins. And I decided from 21 to 24, 23 rather, I'm only going to hold this many. It was Bitcoin and Solana. I made really good money, bro. Didn't lose. Made, I wish I could go back and tell myself not to do what I did. And then to I would say the last quarter of the bull run, I started breaking rules and dabbling in too many other things, and it was too much to watch. It was overwhelming, and it was like analysis paralysis, where you've just got too much, almost too much that you just can't deal with it. And that's one of my personality traits that I have that's quite annoying, is I get overwhelmed. And something that I've had to have a strong talk with myself is this next bull run. And that's why I've got that list of Bitcoin, Hyperliquid, Ethereum, perhaps Solana for this next bull run. I'm only going to have another 2, 3, 4 coins again and just focus on those. And then, of course, like you said, be an active trader in metas, but you need to be brutal and just keep returning to your main bags to keep an eye on them. Because once you diversify too much, you can actually just eat all your gains that you had from the front end of the bull market, which, you know, I would have had about 30% more if I hadn't done that. And here's the worst part. I would have had 30% more and worked 300% less. That's the worst part, was that it became overwhelming, and I'm having to watch all these charts whereas I could have just skipped all that and made more money.
One of the best skills that you can learn is when to take your foot off the accelerator. When you realize that you probably shouldn't be taking as much risk, when you shouldn't be taking as many trades, you're over trading, liquidity conditions, volume conditions have changed, narrative conditions have changed, structures change on Solana. So you shouldn't be trading Solana meme coins, right? There will always be opportunities. Okay. You'll always, what so many people, oh my God, I'm losing my voice.
Stay with us, Greeny. We need to finish the show.
I know, no. Yeah, 2 minutes. What you see on YouTube, what you see on Twitter, what you see on Instagram, what you see on TikTok is everybody's wins. What you never see is everybody's losses. And trust me, 99% of people out there will have catastrophic losses and more consistent losses than wins, okay? But they just don't show you that because they're so proud of their one win or their one trade that they made, right? Value people who give you transparency, okay? That same trader I was talking about earlier, he was like, oh yeah, I bought this here and I sold it here and then I bought this and I was up so much unrealized profit. And I was like, one, unrealized profit shows me that you suck because you've now round tripped it. Two, show proof of you buying something and selling something. Show me how much money you made. If you're like, anybody can claim anything. It's the people who prove it time and time and time again and who are transparent. I mean, I share my losses all the time on the timeline. Okay. I've been on a heater recently. Don't get me wrong. I've been on an absolute heater recently. Okay. But I share losses all the time. I literally had an Ethereum long a couple of weeks ago. I lost 2x on the position, right? So like I share my losses all the time. Transparency is key. If you're following people that don't show you that, talk about that, it's literally probably not, it shows you that they're selling you this lie that they only ever make money. Okay. It's absolute bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
Definitely is.
I got nothing left.
Greeny's done. That might be enough for today, Greeny.
Yeah,
I think we've covered a lot. There's a lot of good lessons in there for the guys who tuned in or the girls tuned in late. Definitely go back and listen to it. I think this is the streams we're having at the moment. I think the real value, hopefully people are getting big value out of it, because these are lessons that come from 5 years to a decade for Greeny of losses, pain, financial loss, stress, and hopefully you guys can get some little bits from it and put it on yourself and not have those experiences. You're still going to, but if you can minimize the losses, you'll hopefully stick around and actually make some money, because this is like a video game, and to get further in the game, you've got to stay alive. How do you stay alive? You need money. That's your health meters, how much money you have. Once you go broke, no more health, game's over. So take profits, guys. Oh yeah, you're doing the head and shoulders?
Yeah, Heisenberg, maybe not the 4 hour, but the 1 hour. Yeah, I saw that earlier when we had it up on the screen. Could be a little bearish head and shoulders pattern playing out there just as we speak. Yeah, guys, appreciate it. Smash a sub, smash a follow. Go listen to us on Spotify. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. If you are listening on Spotify, drop us a 5-star review. We very much appreciate it. We're trying to grow on that platform. We've been doing this for 3+ years, so. Glad we appreciate you, Brad. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. Keka, thanks for the comments. Heisenberg, thanks for the comments. Heaps of people today to thank. Holy, I got to scroll back. Proof of Eli, thanks for the comments. Over Easy Films, Aris, everybody else as well. AJ at the start as well, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back again live tomorrow. We've got Zeneca on the show on Thursday. Okay, so that's Wednesday night for our American friends. Yeah, Zeneca to talk all things AI, Claude, Opus, Opus versus ChatGPT, Codex versus Claude Code. It'll be a very exciting conversation. I'm going to have to tell Craig to do a bit of study over the next couple of days, guys, so that he has a few AI questions that we can ask Roy about. So no, it'll be super cool to have. No way, Heisenberg is Nimesh. There you go, bro.
What's up, dude? Great name.
You should put. I mean, thanks for clarifying. But yeah, anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back again live tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard or 9 a.m.